Israel calling up thousands of reserve troops for a major new operation in Gaza aimed at taking control of the rest of the territory. The Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, saying the cabinet, quote, decided on a powerful operation in Gaza. This was the recommendation of the chief of staff to go, as he said, to defeat Hamas. The destruction of Hamas, one of two main goals of the war, along with bringing back the hostages. Now, this new plan requires tens of thousands of Palestinians to be resettled in southern Gaza. Israel's cut off aid to Gaza since the ceasefire broke down a couple of months ago. And now the UN and other aid groups are condemning an Israeli proposal to manage food distribution in the Gaza Strip. Let's get into it with the military analyst Glenn Ignazio, who's retired Air Force Special Operations Commander. Glenn, as always, good to see you. All right, let's take this in order. So what do you make of the idea here? You know, Israel wants to maybe take on the rest of Gaza and stay there for a while.
Yeah, great to see it, Connell. I think that this is one of the things we talked about some time ago, where it was as they were moving through, it was always a concern of, hey, is Hamas going to pop out behind them with these tunnels and everything once they moved through and left that area behind them? And honestly, that's sort of what's happened. And so at this point, it seems that they're going to prosecute from the north to the south and really stay in place, keeping those reserves and other troops as they proceed down to the south. So basically, they are occupying, become an occupying force, and will stay in all those areas to prevent Hamas from popping up again.
Risks associated with that, or what? And you think it's broadly speaking, a quote unquote good idea, or what would you say?
I mean, if you think about it from a military operation, it makes sense, of course. But
Right.
the things that they're going to have to look at is, that's a pretty large force that's going to have to move through it. You have to have reserves called up, so different training, different currency of what they're doing. The opportunity for accidental fire against people. If somebody pops up, it's a hostage, just as they've unfortunately killed a hostage in the past. These all of a sudden create all these accidents that could occur. But let's say it's all professional, it works out. It is a method for them to prosecute through Gaza in a much more methodical and cleaner way.
Israel, meantime, has been criticized throughout the war on humanitarian concerns, or on the basis of humanitarian concerns, but more so lately with what's been going on. This is from Axios about aid groups denouncing the plan for Gaza aid delivery from Barak Ravid, who said, according to that plan, aid operations in Gaza would be channeled through an internationally governed foundation backed by nation states and philanthropic entities. What would you say about that part of it, which, has to be part of it, and the job Israel's doing there?
Yeah, I agree. Now, one of the things was with these groups was to be able to manage the aid in a way where Hamas was not going to get it. We saw Hamas attacking,
Right.
convoys and stuff before. So this was going to be much more methodical. The thing that surprised me was that the groups that were resisting this was literally not accepting any kind of aid because of the process. And I didn't think that was really logical. It's like, hey, get the food in there, get the supplies in there. And if it's not the way you want it, hey, negotiate and work that out in the past, but get something in. And it seems like it's all or nothing. And I was really surprised about that.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.